We'll be fine.
Hello, my name is Alun. My pronouns are he, him, and I will just adjust my name to prove that. Um, and tonight I'm running the second and final session of a two-shot of my own game, Alien Dark, tweaked a little bit to take advantage of some of the system advances that went on in a later game of mine called Against the Dark Conspiracy. And our story so far, before I ask our players to introduce their characters. Our story so far is that the USCSS Omestra has been diverted. Mother has woken the crew early, having diverted from their relatively straightforward journey back from the rim to Earth. And when they wake up, they find themselves orbiting Fiorina 161. This is the planet that appeared in Alien 3, the one with the convicts. And the situation appears to be a distress signal coming from the surface. Mother has followed her protocols and diverted the ship there, and a group of the crew of the Omestra have gone down to discover another similar ship, the USCSS Lake, parked on the landing pad, and a distress signal coming from a different ship about half a click or so away. Then stuff happens. Go back to see series session 1, and we'll pick up where we left off in a moment. But before I do that, I just want to say that this game, like all my games, really is organized as part of the Open Hearth gaming community. If you don't know about the Open Hearth, please search for that. You should know that we are playing with a set of safety tools. We're playing with lines and veils and the X card. An open door is in place, and we're following the community's code of conduct. Which we think is quite good, and we think you might enjoy using it. So do look us up and come play with us. So there we go. We will pick up with a description of where our last scene, previously on Alien Dark. But first of all, Brandon, say hello, tell us about your pronouns, and just briefly introduce us to your character.
Sure. Hi, I'm Brandon, and he. I'm playing Layla Karsten, she, who is the navigator for the Omestra. She used to be a pilot and never lost the desire for thrills. She came out to the Corps because of blighted ambitions and a desire for more excitement. She is an athletic woman who is sardonic and impatient, and when she's waiting for something, she takes out a stiletto and plays with it.
Beans and nails.
Well, it just like the knife that was in Aliens, it's a and presumably she can use it, but nobody's actually seen her stab anything. She her stress manifests as black humor.
Great. And then Ronan, say hello, tell us about your pronouns, and introduce us to Benny.
I am Ronan, he, him, and I'm playing Benny Doyle, also he, him. And Benny is the science officer from the Omestra, and he has a checkered past, which involved him manufacturing and selling drugs to some very shady people. He is out well, he's taken this job to make money, basically, so that he can hopefully repay some old debts that he owes to a gangster called Mulligan. He is sort of tall, skinny, red-haired, and very nervous, ready to run at a moment's notice, and is now extremely disappointed that there's no guns.
Yeah, because our third player can't join us tonight. So we left with him running because the party divided. These two characters went to examine the USCSS Lake, while Jim Harris, the XO, and the passenger, a corporate rep on her way home, hitching a lift, more or less, went to examine where the SOS was coming from. And the last you heard from Jim was his report that he'd encountered some kind of alien creature. He'd killed it, but Natalie Hicks, the corp rep, had been seriously injured. I'm not certain he went into a lot of detail apart from the fact that she'd lost her legs. And the last you heard from him was that he was making his way back with Hicks. What do we remember of the last scenes we saw aboard the USCSS Lake with your character, Brandon? I tell you what, can you rename yourself? Because I will forget that.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I'd just be interested to have you just reprise, as Ronan says about Benny. Benny's disappointed there were no guns.
Well, I think Leela says in response to that, I guess we'll have to use sticks and stones then.
Because I think we open with you standing, Benny having panicked a bit when he heard something moving in a duct above the med lab on board the lake, running onto the bridge where Layla had been finding out what, anything that she could about the lake and what it was doing there. Then you get the message from Jim saying, I've just killed some kind of creature. It's all on to get to the armory of the lake. Happily, Benny has some skills in that way in terms of breaking into things he shouldn't get into. And there is that sense of you're standing in front of that secure cabinet, open and entirely empty. So there are no guns in the armory. And then I think the captain of the Omestra, your captain in orbit, has contacted you to say, in the face of all of this, come back up. Yeah?
Roger that.
Yeah.
And once Jim and Hicks are back, get on board the shuttle and come back up to the Omestra, because this is all much more than he was expecting. And we know that Captain Merton is honest but disorganized, and there is a distinct hint of panic in his voice when you start describing alien creatures and Hicks is injured and so on. So let's pick up with you in front of that empty cabinet. We know the reactions are shocked, but Benny, what do you do?
Well, first I turn to Layla and go, sure, show me some sticks and stones, Layla. Anything? Have you got some in one of those pockets?
Leo laughs and it's like, well, I guess I asked for excitement, didn't I? We'd better get out of here. We'd better get out of here.
I think Jim has a gun, right? So maybe we just need Jim. He can actually kill these.
We need to get the captains right. We need to get back to the shuttle and get our butts out of here before whatever it is that killed the lakes comes looking for us.
Did you say buds or butts? Do we need to get our buds out of here or our butts out of here?
Harris is getting there on his own steam.
Okay.
I don't want to launch a rescue mission unless he doesn't show.
That's really good thinking. I'm 100% behind you. This is a good plan.
All right. Let's go.
Yeah. And so what I'm seeing then is the pair of you making your way back up through the bowels of the ship to the elevator that will take you down from the body of the lake down onto the landing pad, and from there across to your shuttle. I'm curious.
Yeah. Where's what level is the weapons locker?
That's a good question. If I have a look at my Bison class, I think the weapons locker is on. It's down on B deck, which is also where the airlock and elevator is.
Right. So that makes sense.
It's top left. There's a docking tube airlock on the far left hand side of B deck.
I see that.
Yeah, and the airlock is alongside the upper landing claw area. Yeah. So I'm curious, Layla. What do we see? Is this a flat out run? Is this listening for noises? What am I seeing on screen?
Layla's torn because she really did want to have a look at whatever it is whatever the thing was that burned through the hull. But uh, and if she was already armed, she might do that, but she's not doing it. No, this is a move and listen. Move and listen. Something's on this ship. We don't know how big it is. I'd just as soon not leave a blazing trail for it.
So this sounds more like avoid detection than flee for your life.
Correct.
Okay, so let's have you roll to avoid detection. What am I looking at in terms of expertise? I think observation would give you expertise, because it is about, what do you spot? Observation just is about what do you pick up. But I want to know from Benny, what, Layla is kind of, making her way, listen.
Yeah.
How's Benny feeling about this?
Very, very anxious. His heart is going 90 miles an hour in his chest. And the annoying thing is that he knows she's right. One of Benny's skills is to be unobtrusive, and he's also an inveterate coward. So he knows that the best thing to do in this situation with a totally unknown enemy, that could be literally anywhere, is to do what Layla is doing. So he's containing an inner anxiety and rage, and just controlling his legs to make sure he doesn't go into a dead out sprint.
Okay, so so Layla, let's have you roll to the link to the dice room is on the safety and links tab. Avoid detection. I think that your observation gives you expertise. You can have the stress dice if you'd like it.
I would. There we go. Got a 4.
Ooh, a 4, and it's not on the stress dice. 4, you made it for now. What do you do? So we see you at the airlock, to the elevator. Process the airlock and get out of there.
Yeah, slap the elevator thing, get down to ground, and
is anyone communicating to Jim that the intention is to get back onto the shuttle and make a dash for it?
Once we're in the airlock, I do feel comfortable in saying, Harris, Captain Skip made a call, get to the shuttle, and because we're bugging out.
Just carry a wave.
Shit.
That's it. He's dead. Forget him. He's gone. One of those things probably cut his legs off.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. No, I mean, come on, Layla.
And then the elevator descends out of the airlock. You don't need the airlock for oxygen here. It's just dust and wind. And so we see you coming down to the ground about 30 or 40 feet down. The wind gusting across you. It's dark. Your torchlight is, scattering about. Benny, I think, given everything you've said to me, I think you need to roll for stress. Because I think, this is not what you bargained for at all. You came down here looking for a very big salvage check.
And I didn't even get that. I didn't even get the meds.
No, you got nervous before you had a chance to break in.
There was something above me.
So pick a dice that likes you and hope that it rolls at or below your current stress.
I can't remember which one's like me. Can I roll the green one?
Okay.
Okay.
Stress goes up by 1. I will remind you, there is the whole seek relief from the horror set of moves.
As soon as we're in that shuttle.
And in emergencies, you can spend intel to knock down stress.
Oh yeah, I think I got some intel last time.
You did. You have 2. You have 2 altogether.
Yeah, and you know that rule that I should have ported over from Against the Dark Conspiracy? I didn't.
What was that?
There's a rule in the kind of in advance Against the Dark Conspiracy, the kind of more advanced rule set. There is an option to spend intel to reduce stress. That does not exist in this modification of Alien Dark. You might want to check out on the danger, intel, and stress.
Because it used to.
Yeah, I thought hard about it after our first 2 shot.
Oh, that makes it's fine. I agree. Thank you for letting me know that that's changed.
But I have
okay,
added...
but intel is still very useful for things, and you should look and You look
Yeah.
at Benny and see how to
But
Mhm.
what I
how to
gave
spend
with
it.
what I took away with one hand, I've returned with the other, because now there is an option on that tab that says PCs erase stress when the GM offers them the opportunity to mark danger in place of the erase stress. Because sometimes the needs of the one outweigh the needs of the many.
Words that Benny literally lives by. Yeah.
So
100%.
while you can't spend intel, you can give me danger to
Yeah,
reduce stress.
Yeah.
don't do that.
So keep that in mind.
Okay. All right.
Down
Shuttle.
on the ground, wind is, still nothing for, you're trying the walkie-talkie,
Yeah.
Jim Harris, where the fuck are you? Nothing.
Right.
Just carry a wave.
All right. Well, making our way back to the shuttle.
Okay. It shouldn't take him more than 15 minutes to get from that location where the SOS was picked up back
Yep.
to you.
Even carrying Hicks. I presume he's carrying
A
her.
lot longer if he's carrying Hicks, but it's that order. It's minutes rather than hours.
Yeah.
Jim would never leave Hicks behind. I'm sure she's fine, right? There's no way he'd abandon her. He's a good Marine.
Used to be a
He'd
good
never do that.
Marine.
Yeah, that used to be.
No man left behind, obviously. And you get back onto the shuttle. You cycle through the airlock. It's also what the Omestra uses as a lifeboat, one of the two, and seal yourself in
Mhm.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
wait.
Call to Harris again. No response.
Nothing. And then the captain comes online and says, "Look, the signal's not great up here, but I can see that the two of you are still near the shuttle at least."
We're
Because
we're in, but Harris hasn't reported.
yeah, well, that's my point. That's why I've got in touch, because I can see his personal data transmitter from up here. He seems to have moved away from you, not towards you. I was tracking him. He went to where the signal came from. We've tracked him away from there, and then he goes off at right angles from there.
So not the way he came.
No, and Hicks is stationary where he took a diversion.
He left her behind.
So you need to go and retrieve our passenger. If we lose a passenger, then we are broke.
Yeah, no, you don't have to tell me.
What if you lose a science officer and a navigator, though?
Well, you've
We're contract
signed up.
employees.
Yeah, exactly. So, you're in the happy position of being fully covered by the insurance.
Yeah, does that make you feel better, Benny? We're covered by insurance.
No, I don't want my mother to get a penny.
You should have picked someone else as the beneficiary then.
I know, I should have.
The
I
captain.
think
You're the
how about
person
that?
I like
How
the
about that?
most.
How about that? How about that girl Gertie that in the last orbital station? You seem to like her.
Yeah, she didn't like me.
Oh,
So,
okay. No, I just figured,
yeah,
if you're going to leave money to somebody and you didn't want your mother to get it.
to some random woman I met once at an orbital station.
She'd appreciate it.
Oh, I'm sure she would.
Yeah, she might be able to get out of that particular job.
Well, yeah, you know what? I also like cats. Maybe I'll just leave it all to a cat sanctuary.
Yeah,
And,
that's not bad.
Merton
I like that.
interrupts
And
and
we're
says,
saying we're actually acting while Layla's acting while she's doing this. It's like
so
the
this is
shuttle has
walk and talk.
Yeah.
well, the shuttle double checking that the shuttle has nothing that could help us because it doesn't.
That's good.
No, I don't think it does. No, I mean, it has EVA suits for everyone.
Just kind of
Well,
looking over the layout of the station here again, so that trying to fix it in my head.
Yeah.
And downloading it to a handheld if I have it.
I don't know. Do you have one?
I had one. Well,
they're commonplace items, right? Data tablets. Can I have a data tablet?
Yeah, you can have a data tablet. Mark it.
it's marked.
And I think, is it one of those things? Oh, no, it isn't. There we are. Data tablet. Yeah, fine. And then mark another of your load.
I did.
So you've got the portable diagnostic unit still, Benny. That allows
Yeah,
you
what
to
are the
interface.
chances? What are the chances that there's a motion tracker on the shuttle?
There was a motion tracker
There
on the
was.
shuttle, and Jim
Oh,
took it
Jim
with him.
took it. I never wish ill on anybody. You know that, Layla. But
Yes, you do.
but fucking Jim, he's gonna be the death of us.
So I think what the captain kind of
All
sends
right.
down a little package showing where those PDCs are.
Got it.
And onto the tablet that allows you to make your way. You know, there's a little dot where you are, there's a little dot where they, or where Hicks is. There's a dot where Jim is.
Okay,
do you
good.
Do you head for Hicks or do
Hicks.
you head straight for Jim?
Hicks.
Hicks. Fine.
Hicks.
You make your way to Hicks. Again, is this quiet or is this, just at pace?
Well, it's like a storm is blowing out, right? I mean,
well, but once we get indoors, it's moving carefully, not furtively exactly. I mean, we don't want to take forever. But on the other hand, if we hear anything at all, freeze, stop, observe.
I think hearing anything over this wind, because most of the time.
Oh no, out of doors, we're just have to make our way for the entrance to Fury.
Okay.
There's there's no point in trying to be furtive in this blast. We have to get out of it.
Okay.
Is she indoors or out?
Well, as far as you can tell from the plans you have of the site, because remember you were here to survey it, so you've got some plans.
Yeah.
Sorry, you've got some idea from orbit of how this is laid out. She appears to be about halfway on a direct line from you to where that SOS came from and where Jim found that other ship.
Is she in Fury?
She's, as far as you can tell, she's just among the various kind of pipe work and.
Okay, so she's right. She's indoors. That's what I thought.
Oh no, no, I didn't. No, she's in the open. Well, there's no buildings per se.
Oh, she's out in the open among the. In the processing. Okay, well, hell.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't think you are making it. You don't see there's any point in making an effort to stay hidden. So, but I am curious whether anyone or anything notices you. So Ronan, will you roll to avoid detection, but without using expertise, just the grey dice? But you could always use the stress dice if you wanted to roll 2 dice and improve your chances for success.
2 dice is better.
It's a real hard sell with you, Alun, isn't it? Okay, so let's try it. Yeah, we'll go stress. So that's just the grey die and the green
one, because I don't think any of your expertise is going to play into this.
Unobtrusive? No?
Well, it would if you were trying to be unobtrusive, but you're not really. You're trying to make good time.
Okay.
Oh, will you look at that? The worst
possible roll.
A fail, and it's a fail based on
stressful fail.
Stress goes up by 1. I will mark danger. There we go. The first active. What does that offer me?
Wait, did you already put my stress up, or did I do that?
No, I didn't.
Nope, nobody has.
Oh wait, am I on 5 then now?
Yes, you're
at 5.
Oh
wow. Then you really do need to think about seek relief from the horror. I will come to you before you make any more dice rolls. So let me see. What do I want to do with that increase in danger? Oh yeah. So you get to Hicks's PDC, yeah. And she's lost her legs below the shins, below the knees.
Jesus Christ.
And
is she bleeding?
Oh yeah, because there are bits of her spread around this area. Something has frenetically torn her to pieces. And there in the gore is her personal data transmitter.
We're in trouble. We're in a lot of trouble.
And there's something odd. I think, Ronan, you're the one who's like, no, I think because of observation, I think it's Layla will spot this, that in this kind of carnage, you, Layla, spot a motion tracker, but it's covered in a slimy goo.
Yuck. Clean that thing off, Benny.
Yeah, sure. Okay, yeah. I'll clean it.
She's alive?
Oh no.
No. Shit.
Oh no. She has been torn to pieces. Before I do anything else, Ronan, I am conscious that your stress is now critical. You are walking the bloody edge of cracking and becoming mine to play with. So do you want to seek relief from the horror? Or do you want to give me a danger just to reduce stress by 1? That's all it costs you. Nothing else.
This is literally the perfect moment for Benny to pop open his little pillbox. Oh yeah.
Okay. So seek relief from the horror, immediately reduce your stress by 1. It's as simple as that.
Yep.
And then roll a d6 on the, if you get drunk high on uppers or numb the pain with downers, roll a d6.
You said it was as simple as that.
It is. It is.
Okay.
Stress has already gone down. I mean, what can go wrong?
That's a 4.
4. 4 plus. Agree with the GM how this leads to danger being marked. What do you do when you pop? Is it upper? A little, what upper, downer? What
Pink, upper, painkiller? What is it?
Let's let me just think for a moment. Yeah, let's just say that it's a downer, right? And Benny immediately closes his eyes, puts his hand over his face, leans back against one of these pipes. I think you said earlier that there were parts of the of the refinery that were on the other ship. Let's just say there's a piece of machinery here that's been knocked, or it's been cannibalized, and I lean back into that going, woo, and just knock off a piece of piping or machinery, and it clatters to the ground.
Clatters, clangs, ding dong, and it cuts through the wind noise.
Yeah.
And on the edge of Layla's tongue is fool of a took. And
yes.
And then slime. So
I picked up the data pen.
Yeah, the motion tracker.
Motion tracker. Yeah.
Fine. When you mark danger, there's slime or other evidence, but there's also a quiescent warrior nearby, and the GM rolls or chooses. They don't reveal themselves until danger is next marked in the scene. We just marked danger again. You will see something vaguely humanoid. Benny, you look down at this, and then you look over as you look up again, and you see in the shadow something vaguely humanoid begin to kind of unravel from a place where it's just been sitting quiescently. I think the torchlight, maybe your torch glints off it. You see that it's got a dark, hard, reflective carapace. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But the good thing about being at this stage on the danger clock is that we will roll for its behavior with a -1. So it you've got,
there's
nothing yet to worry about. But let me send you to the
everything's fine.
Everything's
okay.
Everything's fine, Benny. It's okay. There's just this strange kind of head coming up
Benny's doing the
And
classic.
that and the tail
First of all,
and the tail vertebrae are going by, right? That kind of hypnotic way that they do, you know.
Benny does the classic. First of all, uh, and then then his little pillbox opens it and goes, no,
Okay, so
it's not
only
shut.
It's like, yeah, that's a hell of a pill. Uh,
Yeah.
it's like, whoa, I've never had that effect before.
now the good thing here is only PCs with survival, cowardice, or deadly can act before a xenomorph when it first appears in a scene.
Yeah, guess what we
So,
both have.
so we have both those in play, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Benny, I'm going to come to you. You get to act before it does, or before you know what it's going to do.
Uh-huh.
What does Benny do?
So, are my options now purely from the basic moves or from confront? I'm not confronting them, obviously. I'm running away.
You're running
Uh,
away. Flee for your
I
life, I think is the move you're talking about.
yeah, that's the one. But I do shout, Layla, Layla,
Well,
run!
I think you're in on around this body, and Benny's gone over there, and there's been this clang.
Yeah.
Layla looks towards him. He's
Okay.
looking into the future. Maybe Layla isn't quite certain what he's seen, but he's backing away through the intestines
Yeah,
of
but
Nicola Hicks.
Layla saw, yeah, something tore Hicks to pieces.
Hmm.
Layla doesn't require any prompting.
You
Fine.
don't need a warning.
Uh,
Okay. Great.
she's got a pilot's reflexes. You know, she's not slow on the uptake.
Okay,
Just like
She's
a hell.
well, no, picking the data pad up and things like that. She has
Yeah.
primed,
that's fine.
you
That's
know,
fine.
for
Yeah.
for a disaster.
Yeah.
So
So she's kind of,
Benny,
in fact, she's probably kind of like picking it up with one hand while looking around furtively for,
Uh-huh.
whatever it is that might have done this.
So, Benny, let's have you roll to flee for your life. It says if it's a
I'm doing
foot
a lot of
chase and you have survival or cowardice, add another. So you get to roll expertise for this. So
yeah.
grey dice, orange dice. What's the stress position, Benny?
It's
Oh,
not
you
great for Benny.
yeah,
It's still not very
it's
good.
4. It's 4. Well, remember, at any time you can give me danger and remove stress.
I can't give you much more danger.
No,
Well,
no,
well,
because you don't want to go into hunted. That would be really, really bad.
So let's have you
Right
roll.
now, it's in danger. It's still kind of unsure of us. It's like we're not sure what we're about.
So grey and orange, green if you'd like it, Benny.
No, you're not getting the stress dice this time. Stop it. I've just moved the die. Sorry about that.
Well,
Oh, a
That's a 6.
6. Look at that. Okay.
Come
So
on.
on a 6, it says, you succeed brilliantly. Mark Intel
Yes. Gonna
and,
start using that.
and agree
Oh,
with the
no.
GM what extra benefit you get.
A jetpack?
yeah,
I tell you what, I'll give you a free go on search a location.
That's almost as good.
Yeah.
Sorry, can you explain that to me a little?
Yeah. So maybe when you look down to pick up that pipe, you see something that's been discarded by people before, and it might be useful before you leg it.
Okay.
you gonna give
Right.
him a D6 roll on
I'm going to
the
give you
table.
I'm going to give you a D6 roll on the table. Up there it says, something you could improvise into a weapon. Alcohol, medkit, a lost or discarded ID tag, key card, an item of safety equipment. Treat it as if you rolled a 6, which gives you access to the equipment list.
Ooh.
So
Oh, okay.
any dice you like. What did you pick up?
Good old gray. Let's see.
A
It's
1. Something
oh,
you could improvise into a weapon. What is it?
um, how about fire extinguisher?
I'll go for that. I'll go for that. Mark fire extinguisher. One of those small handhelds that was clipped to the wall here in case something went pear-shaped in the refinery. Great. Mark that on your equipment list. I think there is a fire extinguisher down there.
Okay.
And you run for it. You are away like Flynn. It says also, say what freaks you out or highlight potential danger. I don't think we need you to do any more than that, do we?
No,
Ah,
does he? He does get to roll for stress though.
You do get to roll for stress,
clowns.
though.
It's only clowns.
Roll for stress.
Oh,
God.
Christ.
Benny.
Look, Layla has to roll sometime.
Yeah,
I
no,
will.
well,
I'm coming
Layla
up.
is
My turn's coming up.
a 5. Oh, sod's
Fine.
law. Stress goes up by 1. From 4 to
I
5.
pop another pill. I pop another
Well,
pill.
I'll come back to you in a minute as you just leg it. Layla, flee for your life.
Sprint. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
So go
sprint.
for it.
Try to get keep some obstacle between me and it. Just
Fine.
run like hell.
Run like hell.
All right.
Do that thing.
I've
With
got the
expertise.
expertise, and I am using the stress die because I'm further
All
from
right.
freaking out. And it's a good thing I did too.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Stress goes up, but we
Stress
have
goes up, but a 5, you get away clean unless the GM chooses to spend danger to maintain the pursuit and forces you to flee for your life again. I wonder how much danger I have. I'm going to spend danger. It's chasing you, Layla.
right. I think what happened probably is like, Benny dived into a gap between two things or something like that, and so it couldn't quite get at him for a moment, but I didn't have that option.
He's escaped the scene. He's
That's what I'm
gone.
saying. He's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he crawled into a narrow crevice between a couple of pipes that I couldn't make my way into, and that's the
You have
reason
to go
he's gotten
round.
away.
Shit. So flee for your life again, Layla.
All right, here it comes.
Flee, Layla, flee.
Oh, look at that. A
That's a
6.
6.
6. By going round, this is you're free and gone. But I'm going to allow you to stumble on something. So roll a d6 and see what you stumble upon.
Here's the d6 and another one.
A 1. Something you could improvise into a weapon. What is it?
Let's see now. I want to be different. Uh, a maybe there's a way to rig a power pack so that it'll blow up.
You
What do you think?
find a power pack.
So
Yeah,
I can
so
make
mark a power pack. Well,
make improvised grenade out of it.
let's see how that goes. For the moment, simply mark that you found a power pack.
Okay.
And I'm going to
Roll for
assume that
stress.
roll for stress.
Oh, yeah.
Do that. Oh, yes, got it.
Wow.
Successfully rolled for stress.
Okay, so stress is by 1, but you've run away. Now, Layla, you had to go round to catch up with with Benny, but you're together. And Benny, where do you come to rest? Were you thinking about which direction you went in, or was this just running away from that thing?
So Benny is incredibly stressed out, but he's also got very, very good self-preservation instincts. He's trying to make his way, depending on how close, right? He knows there are 2 ships. There's can't remember what it was called, the Soviet ship and the shuttle. Well, I guess there's the lake as well, but I'm assuming we're not getting that off planet probably. So
yeah,
depends which one is closer, or which one was closer at the time.
The one that was closer at the time is the ship from which the SOS was sent, the ship that Jim had investigated, where he killed some kind of creature. Yeah. So you're running in that direction, and Layla is after you. So is that the point, Benny, when you stop running, when you see that ship?
Yeah, I mean, literally run as right up to I can't remember, was it an airlock, a ladder, or something like that? So,
again, it's a little kind of cargo elevator that is down. As far as I know, Jim didn't secure it when he left. So the door, the airlock, the outer airlock door remains open. And I dare say the inner airlock door remains open, to be honest, because he was getting out of there as quickly as he could with Hicks.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's on the tab marked SOS, and you come up into B deck cargo bay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure.
And yeah, there you go. The door from the cargo bay to the vestibule has been forced open.
I'm just imagining the slowest cargo elevator ever devised by human beings.
Well, it's meant for heavy weight. It's not fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it, love it, love it. And that rises up into the back of the cargo hold, which is full of what looks like, I think, salvaged scrap. You know, the most valuable bit of salvage that they've been able to kind of cut off bits of the nearby bits of the processing plant.
Yeah, electronics and precious metals and things
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
So there you are, and Layla wasn't far behind you. You know, probably just jumps onto the elevator, which is already in motion.
Yeah. So yeah, what do you do when that happens?
Yeah, because you know, Benny wasn't kind of standing there on the ground, kind of thinking, "I wonder where Layla is."
No. Sorry,
Up it
Layla.
goes, up it goes.
I knew you were right behind me the whole time. I'd never had a moment's doubt.
So yes, so there we have it. You're in that cargo space. And then I think probably on the walkie-talkie, we hear Captain Merton saying, "Okay, look, we tracked your PDCs as far as the T's, rather PDTs. We tracked it as far as where Hicks's was.
Yeah.
But then we're seeing you going beyond that to where the SOS came. What's going on down there, Layla?"
Hicks is dead, torn apart by something.
What?
It spotted us, and we had to flee for our lives.
Gosh, shit!
We're
I've got to check the
aboard.
disclaimers.
We're aboard.
Shit! I need to.
We're aboard the G
And
class.
you can hear him, you know, screaming at one of the other crew.
Captain.
Probably Erica, the chief engineer, is the most senior officer left on board. Erica,
We're
dig out the disclaimers. I need to know what happens if we lose a passenger.
We're aboard the G class, and we're going to try and get it. We're going to try to get it to lift.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Hang on, I've just had a thought. I need to just update my.
Can you pilot this thing, Layla?
Yeah. No, let's see. This tub? Are you kidding? You know, can you? Yeah.
I just.
No.
It's this. It. You know this. You know this slow. This. This is basically the bus of spaceships. You know, it is. It's like.
So I've marked Natalie as dead and Jim as missing. But then the captain comes on and says, so what about Jim?
I don't know. We had no time to reconnoiter the area. That thing's down there. It's predatory, and it tried to kill us. We are lifting.
But well, look. At least, you know. Okay. I think I need you to convince the captain. Who's going to be best at that? What line of argument might either of you deploy to convince him that you can
I toss Benny the gum, and I go, I need to you know, to run the pre-flight on this. You deal
Warm her up
with the
Warm
captain.
her up, Layla. Captain.
Right. And then I go back to the main console and I start flicking all the switches and get the dynamos going, and you know.
Yeah.
Benny,
warm up the transistors.
What do we hear you say to Captain Merton?
Captain? How many?
Is that you, Doyle? Where's Layla?
Do I sound like Layla? Captain,
no.
Come on.
Okay. So you need to find Jim.
How many guns did you send us down with, Captain?
What do you mean? I didn't send you down with any guns. That would be entirely inappropriate.
Right. You didn't send any guns with us. Do you know how many alien creatures have killed members of the crew down here?
But okay, you know, Hicks is a loss, but You know, she's
What
not
do
one
we
of us, Benny.
what are we supposed to use against them, Captain? Harsh language?
Thank you for that.
I like that. I'm not going to make you roll for that. I think that is sufficiently good. Well, look, so okay, Betty, I get it. Okay, you sound a bit freaked. I get that. Look, what I want you to do is okay if you can get that crate in the air. That's great. You know, but I want you to head
Captain,
over
I
to
just
where Jim is. Okay, and all I want you to do is just check what you know. Just give him a chance to get up to you. That's all I'm asking.
You want to rescue Jim, assuming he's still alive. He's holed up somewhere. Then
We can't
let's.
just leave him down there.
Or then we need to send
But hang on,
down a.
Layla. Hang on, Layla. You're busy in the bridge. I'm talking
Yeah.
to Benny.
Oh, sorry. Yes,
uh,
I'm
yeah. Okay.
click, click, click.
So
See, you think he's alive because Hicks was in a million tiny pieces.
yeah, but that it would explain it, wouldn't it? You know, Jim took off at right angles. Maybe this thing came after them. You know, he had no choice but to make it to cover somewhere. We can't just assume he's dead, damn it, Benny.
It would be safer though.
He's one of us.
Well, is he? He's kind of a pain in the arse, you know? He had an illegal firearm on board, Captain. Did you know that?
I did not know that, Benny.
Well, yeah. What a team player old Harris was, huh?
Yeah,
yes, I am using the past.
But you just asked me how many firearms I sent you down with. It looks like I sent you down with one.
Yeah,
Go
but
get it, man.
You didn't know about it, did you? It wasn't part of your plan, Captain.
Okay, but look, he's down there with a gun. He's probably holding something off. You know, at least try, Benny. Just you know, go over to where the PDT says he is. I'm sending Layla's pad the details now. Just you know, get over there and just give him a chance.
Captain, I'm going to need you to make a roll to convince me.
Let's have you roll to do something else, Benny, to resist this temptation. I'm going to give you expertise in cowardice to resist following orders.
Finally, I get credit for my cowardice.
You've been using that. Actually, you've been using that hard.
So
that's your most useful skill.
So far this session.
But I before we roll any dice, I notice your stress is on 5. Is there something you want to do?
Yeah, 100%. Sorry, I was actually trying to say I had the walkie-talkie like this as I was opening the pillbox. You know. Yeah, Captain. Jim, great guy.
Reduce stress by 1, and let's roll a d6 to see what happens this time round.
Probably it'll be. We don't need to do this every time, do we? Seek relief, and we're gonna roll. Okay.
Any dice you like.
I'm going green again.
Okay. A 1. 1 to 3. You're ashamed of yourself. Distracted by a need for just one more drink or hit. You cannot use your expertise until stress goes up again. So
doesn't sound like Benny at all.
There's a drop down where it says expertise is available. Hit the drop down, it says cannot be used or something similar. It'll go up, come back to you when stress goes back on. But now at least you've got a bit of stress headroom. You could always reduce stress by 1 and give me danger. Just saying.
Or he can get his expertise back by spending an intel.
He can.
Because that's still there.
But let's deal with resisting the captain's order here. So expertise counts, or it would have done if you hadn't just lost it. So
but he could spend intel. He could spend intel.
He could spend the intel straight away.
Right, which for persuade
to
get your expertise back, and that's basically telling the cap. I mean, you've learned a lot, right? You know, you can describe the creature probably in minute detail. Actually, it's imprinted on your eyeballs.
Yeah. That's living in my nightmares forever. I'm using the intel, getting my expertise back. This is not the first time Benny's been in a tight spot.
Absolutely not. So now you've got grey and orange. Green
Yes,
is the wallet.
you've had large men standing around you, threatening to break every bone in your body. That you've
This is basically the same.
Yeah, it's just like being at home. Off you go.
Yeah, it's just like Dublin. Okay, I'm going. Uh, I'm down to 3 stress.
You
No, I'm
are.
down to 4
no,
stress.
No,
Down to
you're
4.
down to four.
you're down to 4.
You could get down to 3 if you gave me a danger.
Stop it.
Not while I'm still in the ship with him or with
Just
Layla. I mean,
that's fine.
no,
That's
no,
fine.
not yet. I'm not spending the stress die this time. So here we go. Double 6s. Yes,
If only 2 6s was worth more than 1. I mean,
is in here.
this is brilliant. This is as good as it gets.
I know I went from the worst possible roll to the best.
Yeah, so you succeed brilliantly. Mark intel.
Oh, another intel.
Or
Great.
you could,
Yes, you're inspired to
do something with that.
powerful flights of
and agree with the GM what extra benefit you get.
That's a good.
So not only do you you're not convinced by the captain, what's the extra benefit that comes out of this conversation?
should it be something that involves the argument, or can it be anything?
It could be. Well, it needs to have fictional positioning. So
Let's,
what do you think, Benny?
Let's say I've been. Where was I in the ship? Was I in the bridge?
I think you probably made it a bit further. Yeah, you're probably in the bridge or just behind it. There's a.
I'm going to say
a comm panel next to the mess hall.
I necked a pill, got the walkie-talkie going, and the whole time I'm scrabbling around. I'm looking everywhere, under panels, opening up machinery. But something cool is going to turn up, probably something really useful.
I'll let you roll a d6 again if what you want to do is to find something useful.
All I want is one fucking gun. That's all, just one.
They're not thick on the ground, unfortunately, but
you never know. You
never know.
How many dice am I getting with this?
Just the one.
It's just I'm rolling on that.
Yeah.
You're rolling on a table. Yeah.
It's a 1 again.
It's something else you could improvise into a weapon. What might you find aboard a ship that sits on the list that might be worth having?
I'm going the exact opposite of a fire extinguisher. Is what do you call that? A flame cutter? What do you call it?
Yeah, there's down there somewhere. There's a hand welder.
Hand welder. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Mark that. And again, add another mark to your equipment, because I think you're now fire extinguisher is 1, portable diagnostic unit is 1, walkie-talkie is 1, and you've just added the hand welder, so that's 4 of your equipment boxes marked.
Okay, I'm can't find the hand welder. I'll find it.
Yeah, it's on row 29.
Oh, thank you. Oh, yeah.
Intimate armor piercing.
So I'm on, I have not been filling those in. So I'm on average now.
You are. You are. After this, you start to get slow.
Yeah. Okay, so I hang up on the captain, right?
Yeah.
And I turn to Layla and I go, let's get the fuck out of here.
Layla, I've updated yours to include the motion tracker, and I've filled in your 3rd equipment box. So so now Layla, it's about getting this thing off the ground, isn't it?
It is. Did I spot anything? Did I spot any hull breaches on my way up? You said that the door back there was wrenched, but you didn't say anything about any other damage.
No. I'm assuming that you were rather cooler than Jim when he left, and you secured the cargo hatch when you got back on the ship.
Yeah, no, I'm in mind to lift, so as I ragged forward, I'm just checking that all the doors are green.
Yeah,
you know.
let's see how that goes, whether there are any problems. So let's
Okay,
have you. I will count
I'm
observation.
yeah, so I have yeah, on the way through the vestibule, and this is just pilot's caution kicking in,
Yeah.
I grabbed out an EVA suit and took it with me, and I've
Okay.
just popped it. I've got it next to me on the bridge in case I have to suit up quickly.
Okay. And
So now I've run the pre-flight on this, and now I'm going to see if I can
okay.
get
Let's
get
have
the
you.
engines to start up.
Well, you want to know whether it's space worthy, don't you? So let's
I
roll to
do.
investigate.
Okay.
I think that your previous expertise, your observation will give you that. So you've got grey and orange, green if you want it.
I am sufficiently stressed that I'm going to forbear on the green die for the moment. That's a fail.
A two. Okay. Well, before I do anything else, I'll mark danger.
Oh, don't forget that.
No, I wouldn't forget that, would I? So there's a problem, Layla. Where you're doing the pre-flights and it's green, 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 red. What is the red light?
I'm thinking there's something that well, either it's something that doesn't seal. That would only be kind of a problem because we could still lift in EVA suits. Or it could be uh, it could
Something
be something.
mechanical come technical. That means the engines
Well,
won't start.
it might be, it might be something that's um, yeah, I mean, it might well be, that the feed line's not showing up, the fuel feed line's not showing up green,
Okay.
which, is likely to be just a clog.
Well, I think probably now we know there is a problem. We need Benny to plug his data tablet in
Oh,
and see
yeah.
if he can narrow down what the problem is.
Thought I was going to need my hand welder.
Well, you might do in a moment. You might do in a moment.
Okay. All right, let's
So,
try that then.
yeah, so roll to investigate. I will give you your expertise in science. I think that's worth applying here. I will also give you the bonus dice because you've got that personal data tablet, diagnostic, and because that's what you're doing here. You're trying to
Such
diagnose it. So,
generosity is truly unprecedented.
hey, let no one say that I'm not generous. So you can have the bonus dice, and of course you can always have the green stress dice. That could be 4 dice, man.
Hang on, though. Hang on. Let me check my stress here. I don't think so.
Oh well, just a thought.
I don't think so. I've got 3. What could possibly go wrong? Here we go.
Oh wow, look at that.
That could possibly go wrong.
1.
3, 1, and 3. Okay. Well, look, I tell you what, I'll mark danger. And I will describe this. The problem is, Layla, when Benny kind of runs the diagnostics, is that it looks like one of the inlet vents on the surface of the craft that feeds enough oxygen to feed the engines to get you off the ground, right?
Right.
And it looks like it's blocked with something on the outside. So Benny, what I see you doing is using one of the emergency hatches, getting your cutter in hand, and walking out onto one of the wings to where the vent is, so you can cut away anything that's blocking it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you use, maybe there's a way out of the bridge that takes you onto the top of the ship that takes you, I don't know. I mean, how can we get there?
Let's have a look.
There's an emergency.
There's got to be an emergency from the bridge deck. So yeah, I think you go back into the mess hall, and there's a couple of panels in the wall, an emergency exit there that takes you out onto the wing. Yeah. And when you get out there, you need to kind of just get to the edge of it, lean over, and just check the intake.
It's probably off of those ladder tubes there.
Yeah.
And that, Layla, when he's outside, that's when you, Layla, you're sitting in the pilot's seat,
I'm
and a thin gobbet of goo
I'd like to
drops
occupy
on the panel
myself
in
while
front of you.
taking nothing away from your wonderful gobbet of goo.
Windscreen wipers.
What do you do?
I get out of there. I'm going back to storage and I'm going to see what's in there.
See what's in storage. Yeah, good idea.
Yes.
Good idea. Good idea.
Right, rifle their locker for something useful because I am not content what I've got.
And just so I can stress, this is on the inside of the cabin. This is coming down onto the
Oh,
side.
I understand.
Yeah. No, I think Benny
I had
thinks,
the wrong idea.
Yeah. But what's interesting, Benny, is when you lean over the edge and try to look at the intakes have been bunged up by what looks like a hard resinous material that's going to need to be cut away.
Interesting.
And I think as we see you contemplating that, and we see Layla, rummaging through the storage area, I think that's when we'll take a break.
Yeah.
Our first commercial break. Is back at 1:15 long enough, or do you want a bit longer?
Maybe a little longer. Is that all
A
right?
bit longer. Let's run it until 20 past. Let's have a decent break this first one, okay?
Thanks.
See you then. So as we return from our commercial break, we see Layla, Karsten rummaging through this United Progressive People's surplus ship, looking for something that might be useful, having had a gobbet of slime drop down on the console in front of her on the bridge. She's gone out from the bridge, across the mess, past the open emergency exit through which Benny has gone out onto the wing to try and free the air vents and allow this thing to get in the air. And he's rummaging. So Layla, let's come to you. Now, you are searching the storage location on this ship. It seems to me that you should get the grey dice, the expertise dice for observation, because you're sharp at, finding stuff. But I think you get the bonus dice as well for search location, because this is a storage area,
Right.
and you can have a fourth dice, you can have a stress dice if you want it.
Well, I will politely decline.
You sure? I only
Yes.
rolled 3 and look what happened.
A 5, and it was on the bonus dice. So 4, 5. The GM tells you who you find, or tells you to roll 1d6 for something useful. Roll 1d6 for something useful.
Okay. Those d6s have been. Well, at least there wasn't a 1 this time.
Alcohol.
Yes!
There is
Fucking
inevitably
jackpot!
a bottle of vodka.
Oh, Layla, you're my favorite. Did I tell you?
No, it is looking for, but
it's
any port in the storm.
It might be volatile though. Just saying.
Yeah, because I want to start a fire for this ship.
Benny, I think you're rolling to do something else to clear those air vents with your cutter. Yeah. So, do you have any expertise that might apply here? I don't know. You tell me.
I mean, it's a type of shooting.
I think it's more likely larceny. I think you've
Science,
into some
science
stuff.
also, and
I think larceny plays here.
Yeah, fair.
But I'm also going to give you the bonus dice because I think that you're in a good position to do this. So you have all 3 of those dice, and you have the green one if you'd like it.
I'm narrating everything I'm doing, by the way.
What, into the walkie-talkie?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've strapped it to my lapel so I can just go. Layla, over. So, 3 dice. Is that what you're giving me?
Yeah, I'm giving you orange, gray, and black.
I'm going to roll it. Oh, come on.
My God.
Ah,
3, 2, 3. you see, sometimes that fourth dice could make all the difference.
I'm
So
beginning to learn.
I tell you what, I'm going to mark the first hunt danger.
Yeah,
And
that's fine.
so hunt, the hive recognizes the PCs as threats or a potential resource. When you mark danger, a number of warriors equal to the number of PCs in the scene appear, but adjust each behavior roll +or -1 towards 2 or 3. Benny,
I
you're
think
leaning over.
we're in two different scenes though.
You are in two different scenes.
Okay.
You are in two different scenes. So
Thank
Benny, I'm
God.
seeing you leaning over the wing here, cutting away this resinous material. And it drops down, and we follow your line of sight as it drops down. And it drops down beside the chitinous, shiny head of a warrior alien that
Which I've finally seen.
looks up at you.
Uh-huh.
But
And hisses, right?
and hisses because it's decided that you might be useful. So we
Delicious.
are looking at confront them xenomorph behaviors, but this will be adjusted -1 or +1 towards a 2 to 3 outcome. So, Benny, you have cowardice. You can act before it if you choose to.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Still have the fire extinguisher.
You do.
And that, I believe, has a stun effect.
Could stun it. It could. So you're going to confront it in an effort to distract it, confuse it, stun it.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going for. He's kind of Benny's like laid out on top of the wing right now. Normally he'd be on starter's blocks, but he's just not in any position for that right now. So he just instinct purely grabs the fire extinguisher and aims it and goes.
What is it? Come on. What does he say anything when he does this? Because I'm imagining the camera suddenly switches to the alien's view, and so we can see Benny's head over the edge of the ring, of the wing, and then and it's
Cool off.
okay. Let's have you confront them. And what you want them to do is to be confused and distracted and stunned and unable to do anything for a bit longer, I think is what you're telling me.
Preferably.
Okay. So you're going to get to roll a d6 for your fight or shoot here. So you've got gray and orange. You can have the stress dice if you want it.
Taking it this time. Not making that mistake again.
Yeah, I'm betting there's some risk dice in this.
No, I don't think so, because I think,
Oh, no.
I said this is like 20, 30 feet up.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
I think
can't
this
can't jump it.
I don't think you've got this option. So go ahead, roll those dice. A 6, and it's not even on the stress dice, Benny. On a 6+, you succeed brilliantly. Mark intel and agree with the GM what extra benefit you get. So there's that kind of from the alien.
Mm-hmm.
But what extra benefit do you get?
There's a strap around this alien, and it belongs to a firearm that once belonged to one Jim Harris.
I think now, if you want this, I will allow it to have dropped it next to itself, right? So there's a handgun on the ground.
Yeah.
20 feet down.
Yeah.
Next to an alien.
But that does mean there is a firearm in the game.
It's in play.
In play. Chekhov's firearm. So that's what's down there. Fine. This is the creature that killed, abducted, chased, whatever, Jim.
Yeah.
Layla.
Yep.
You found the vodka. Do you want to search again? Because I will tell you that you can hear noises coming from the quite steep pair of stairs that go from your deck up to A deck where crew quarters are. You can hear
Yeah.
someone moving up there.
I
You're
think
in the
I'm
room
I
that
think I'm
has the
desperate.
only communication between the two decks. What do you do? Do you search again?
Something's coming up the stairs.
Something's coming down the stairs.
Down the stairs.
Yeah. You're on the
Okay.
lower B deck.
Right.
Something is moving
Oh,
up
I
there
see.
towards that staircase. Yeah. There's a pair
Yes.
of stairs that go up to A deck, where the comes out into the cargo bay, and from there to the crew quarters.
Right. No, I am going to hide.
Ooh, Wizzo, Wizzo.
Just no.
Now there is an option here. You could mark intel, find shelter that's secure.
Yes, that's what
and a
I'm.
way
That's
to
what
make
I'm.
your find.
That's what I'll do. I will spend an intel to find a bolt hole.
Fine, which is secure for now at least. Spend
Right.
the intel. We don't know where you are, right? Because I think what happens is the camera cuts. It follows your attention to these stairs going up, and then we hear something. We see maybe one of the clawed feet come down on the step, and then we cut to its point of view, and the storage area is empty.
Yeah. Just with like, something hanging open,
No, it's just empty.
empty.
Benny, there's a gun in play. There's an alien down there that you bought some time for. So you can act because you have cowardice going for you.
Yeah.
And or you can do something else. Well, so what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Because
What?
it is
Look, Benny's feeling a little crazy. He's a tad stressed out. Okay. There's one thing he knows for certain, and that's that these things can be killed by guns, like most things. And he's on his own out here. He takes a look at this thing and thinks, if this is a foot race, I'm not going to win. So, what would be the quickest way down to that gun?
there are some there's a ladder built into the side here so that technicians can make their way up. You'll have to drop off the bottom, but not very far.
And did I actually release the blockage at all, or yes? Okay, so I've succeeded in that. I've
succeeded in the
fucked it
task.
up. Okay.
And this thing is kind of just rushing round down there, but you saw a gun before you let the fire extinguisher go. Yeah.
Yeah. Scramble over to that ladder, slide down as much as possible, drop off the end, and just do a slide as if going for a try.
So this doesn't sound like avoid detection. This sounds like get the fucking gun.
Fast. Yes.
Okay, let's have you roll to do something else. I'm just looking at the characteristics you've got in play here. We know you'll be able to use it. This is about getting it.
Yeah.
Do you know, part of me thinks that cowardice plays in here. The cowardly thing is to stay is to get a gun, because that makes you safer. So I'll give you.
That's all he's wanted. It's all he's wanted, to keep him safe. So
gray and orange, green if you like it.
Yeah.
Because an extra benefit might be I grab it and shoot the fucker.
Now you're talking. Do you know what's better? Do you know what can really protect us all from an alien with a giant, like, long, spiky tail and an extra mouth in its mouth? A good guy with a gun.
The good guy with a flamer.
Oh, look
That's
at that.
a
So
four?
that's a 4. So you've got
Four
it,
is good.
But you'd need a 6. You'd have needed a 6 to actually get a shot off. So you get down there, you see it on the ground. The creature is like 3 paces away, just wildly distracted and stunned by this. That's the benefit of the stun, right?
Yeah.
You're on the ground, you got a gun.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut back to Layla.
But
Just, yeah, just because I want to know, Layla, you can hear something moving about outside your hidey hole. Okay, just want you to know that. So there's something in that room. Benny, you got the gun. You now, because you have cowardice, get to act first if you want to.
incredible. Guess what I'm going to do?
Cowardice is kind of the all-purpose skill in an Aliens game.
It is. It is.
It's so OP. Okay. Let's shoot this fucker. But also due to cowardice, from a relative position of safety, obviously.
Where might that be, Benny?
Well, quite at least as far away as its tail is long.
Okay.
Actually, just a little bit, slightly further.
Maybe
I guess what I'm
hide...
after here is, are you backing away from the ladder to get further away from it?
Do I have to?
I think you probably, because you've dropped to the ground, the ladder's behind you, it's there in front of you, you've picked up the gun, it's either up the ladder or under the belly of the ship.
I'll make you a deal. I'll back away from the ladder, but I'm keeping it in my line of sight.
Oh yeah. It's that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's have you roll. Gray is in play, orange is in play because you have fight and shoot, and you can always have the stress dice.
Taking the stress. You know I'm taking it.
Go for it.
Here we go.
A 6. Will you look at that?
Come on.
Bang, 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 bang. Yeah. That will do some harm to it. And then we roll to see what it does.
That was a lot less than I was expecting.
It's a xenomorph.
That's a 6. This thing's going down.
Yeah, you
mark 2 stress on the warrior.
You put 3 bullets, right into it, and it slows down a little.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, Benny, I think that we will see that not all those bullets even penetrated.
Okay.
But you've done harm to it. Your
Yes.
typical warrior, you have to inflict 5 stress to it. You've inflicted 2. So let's have you roll a d6 to see what it does then.
There's no way Gray is going to roll 6 twice. So here we go. Oh, for Christ's sake.
What do you know? Look at that. So on a 6, I will reduce it by 1 because I need to reduce it towards the 2 to 3.
Okay.
2 to 3 is tries to grab you and take you away. 4+, it pauses, assessing the threat you pose and your potential value to the hive. What do you do before it rolls again?
I hit it with the fire extinguisher again.
Okay.
This is the plan.
That's the plan. Let's have you roll to confront it with the fire extinguisher. You get the gray dice, the orange dice. You can have the stress dice if you like it.
Yeah, here we go.
This time, I am going to make you roll a risk die. Do you see the furthest left pink dice?
Yes.
I want you to roll that one because there is a possibility that you just get a little bit of acid spray if this goes very well or badly.
All right. Here we go.
A 5.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
You succeed. The 5 on the risk die is equal to or greater than your best roll, so you are going to take harm. We need to work out how bad it is.
Ooh, okay.
But on a 5, you hit it. I'm marking, it is stunned. It is stunned. But something happened that put you in danger. Can you see that on the confront them, there's a consequences little box? Now check the risk die. Consequences ? Basically, you roll a d6. You want a high number. You can include the stress dice if you like, if you hope that would increase your chance of a big number.
You want to include the stress die.
Yeah, I'm going to do it.
Okay, go for it.
Against a warrior.
5 on a stress dice means stress goes up by 1. But on a 4+, you were lucky this time. It hurts, but you'll live.
Oh, okay.
Can
Oh,
I
I'm
su-
on.
So,
can I suggest what happens?
well, let's ask Ronan to describe what happens here, because you've sprayed it. What you're in the driving seat still. What do you do? What do we see happening here, Benny?
I would like to hear Brandon's
Oh,
suggestion.
go
If
on, go on.
Okay.
yeah.
So he fires the thing starts to lunge at him. And he fires the fire extinguisher at it, and it gets another face full of it. But it's close enough. It lashes with the tail. It doesn't spare him, but he sweeps his legs out from under him, and he goes down.
Oh,
But fortunately, no bones broken, nothing.
yeah,
You lucked out. You lucked
yeah,
out. It
And he bounces to his feet, none
right,
the worse.
yeah. I grab onto the last rung of that ladder and I just
right.
haul myself up
Oh,
again.
well, look, there is a ladder in exactly the same position on the other side of the ship. So you've
Oh,
backed up under the belly. You now
yeah,
find yourself, there's a ladder there.
incredible.
What do you do?
That's it. Perfect. That's where I'm going up. Yeah.
Fine, fine. So you're heading up that ladder. Meanwhile, Layla, I think what if anything do we see you doing in this? We see you in a cramped space.
Yeah.
We
So
don't know where it is relative to what's outside, but I'm curious what you're doing in this cramped
what
space.
I'm doing, it's very straightforward. So Layla's uh pulled something out of her pocket and flicks it, and the blade pops out of her stiletto.
Yeah,
Um, and she takes out that power pack.
yeah.
She levers off the cover of it, and she cuts the wires to it and begins to wrap them together.
Seeking to make an explosive device of some
Yeah, yeah,
description.
I'm going to make a makeshift grenade out of this thing.
Okay, okay.
It more sort of, is like a heat bomb rather than a grenade.
Well, we'll see what
But it
happens.
liberates all the energy in the grenade
And
quickly.
there's a bottle of 90% vodka there as well. So
Yeah.
I think
Save that.
Comtech plays here, because Comtech is kind of electronics and stuff.
Okay.
So I think I'll give you expertise. So that's gray and orange. You can have the green one if you'd like it. But
Yeah.
let me tell you, don't roll the dice yet,
Okay.
because we won't know if it works until you throw it out at it.
Fair enough. Okay. So
Yeah.
I'll save it.
So we're going to do that dice roll, but I want to know, what are you doing when you hear this thing moving about outside?
I am waiting.
Waiting.
I have no illusions about what happens if I pop out and it's right there.
Okay. So you're hoping that it's going to be on the other side of this space.
Yeah, I need to get at least some distance from it.
Fine.
If not, to have it sneak off and decide, okay, there's no prey here, I'm going to go look elsewhere.
Okay. Well, then I'll give you an option here. You can either roll to avoid detection now, or you can pop off the cover on your hiding place, and I'm going to assume that it's not next to you, because you're listening, and you can hear the footsteps, and the footsteps get further away. This room is about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It's about 10 meters across. So that's quite a decent distance to avoid blowback. So do you sit and wait and hope it goes away and use this
I
later?
do. I do. This is a one-shot desperation thing I have here.
Okay.
It's potentially a very powerful weapon, but it's got one charge.
Okay. So let's have you roll to avoid detection. Now, I'm not certain I see that your expertise is
Survival.
particularly relevant. Okay, I'll give you the benefit. There's only 2 of you. I'll give you the benefit of survival. So roll with expertise, green dice if you'd like it.
Oh, does the green dice like it? Yes. Sorry, I selected the green die, but it didn't roll. So let me.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, it did.
Oh well, disaster.
Nothing more than 3, and the 3 is on the stress dice. Stress goes up by 1. And I will mark danger. Uh-oh. So what we've got here then is, you make some kind of noise. Maybe you drop the stiletto, and this, we can hear this thing moving away. We're now in a scene from Jurassic Park. where you're in a cupboard and it was moving away, and then you finish leaving it off, you've done your stuff, and then you just nudge the stiletto and it hits the deck, and then it gets closer again. Let me go back to Benny. Benny, you opened the emergency exit on the other side of the hull, so not only do you have to go up the side, you have to go across the top to get to it. Yeah, because you won't be able to open that emergency exit from out here. So because there's presumably one on either side. If I was designing a traveler ship, that's what it would have.
Yeah.
Paired. Symmetry is all. So you need to go up over the top and down onto the original wing you started on.
Yep.
I suppose I need to know, are you fleeing for your life here? Or is this a calculated, I'm still in the scene?
No, he's got a plan. Like, I mean, yes, he's trying to get away from the alien that he's shot, right?
Right.
But his plan is to just at this point get back in there, tell Layla we're ready to go, and get her to take off.
Of course.
You know what? Why don't I just call her on the walkie?
Why don't you just call her on the walkie-talkie?
I think that's what happened. I didn't drop the
Yes, you
stiletto.
didn't.
The
Oh, that's
walkie-talkie
brilliant.
just barks to life.
Oh,
and it's like,
thank you, Ronan.
Hey, Layla, there's
thumb it
out
off. I
here.
thumb it
I
off
shot
like
it.
2 words
I shot
in,
it
but it's too
really.
late.
I shot it a lot, and then I used the fire.
I don't hear past like the first second.
That's delightful. And so I'm seeing you slide down the other side of the upper deck, Betty, down to the emergency exit on the wing that you initially emerged onto.
Still chatting away. I'm alive. It's okay.
Genius. And you go back into the mess hall entrance. Yeah. The mess hall through that emergency, and you seal up the emergency exit, because as far as you're concerned, rock and roll, let's get to the pilot's cabin and put this thing in orbit. I think I want you to roll to investigate, though.
Me?
Yeah, because I want to know whether you notice anything about the compartment next to you. I don't think
he's had a lot of drugs.
He has. He's had a lot of drugs. I don't think larceny is in play here, so I'm going to just have the grey dice and the stress dice if you want it.
Yeah. Can I take another pill?
You can always take another pill. You
want to do that, but don't attempt anything without the pills. That's what I say.
Okay, pop a pill, reduce stress by 1, and roll a d6 to find out.
Go. Green die.
Okay. A 5, 4 plus. Agree with the GM how this leads to danger being marked. Because I think whatever you do. Go on.
My pill popping?
Yeah.
Leads to danger somehow?
Yeah. Or maybe there's a growing danger that you're now aware of. I don't know.
He is hopping off the walls at this point. Like, nobody should have this much.
Maybe he's still chattering.
I
am absolutely. He's still chattering away. Yeah, total motor mouth. Going, has anybody got any chewing gum? I really need some gum. Also, any bottled water? Look, do you know that one tune that goes? Do you think we could get that over the speakers?
What
Layla!
What do you do when the door between the storage and med lab area of this deck and the mess hall, where you're just taking some bottled water, opens, and you see a warrior alien on the threshold?
I shoot it.
Bang, 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 bang. Go for it. Shoot it.
What am I using here?
I think expertise is in play. You can have the stress dice if you want it. I'm not going to give you the bonus dice on this occasion, but this time, 2 risk dice, because this is much closer to you.
This is a
and
nice
not stunned.
this is a nice big set of dice. I like it. Here we go.
Well, oh wow, a 6. So this goes perfectly, right? But unfortunately, it's the stress dice. Stress goes up by 1. Yeah. So that's not a great thing.
Literally every single time. I think every single time I've reduced my stress, I have increased it in the same roll.
Yeah, I mean, what can I tell you? You know,
It's the way the system works.
it is the way the system is designed to work. It's a bitch.
It's devious.
So we see you do harm to it on a 6. You know, bang, 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 bang. But this time, that 6 on the wrist die means that there is potentially some acid spray in motion here. So I now need you to again roll a d6 for consequences. High would be good. You can always include the stress dice, remember?
Yeah, but if the stress die is highest, you'll stress out.
You will stress out, and I will eat you.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Unless you want to, because I don't think you're in the, fictionally, I don't think you can pop another pill at this point.
Not sure I have any left. Yeah, I'll roll the stress die. You can't spend it when you're dead. Like, here we go.
A
Double
6.
sixes again.
A 6. Look at that. So on a 6, wow, you are so lucky. 4 plus, you were lucky. You were lucky this time.
Are you serious right
But
now?
you'll live. But on a natural 6, also mark intel.
Okay.
But because that was so close, roll for stress.
Oh, come on.
Well, anything, as long as you don't get another 6.
You want to avoid a 6 on this occasion.
Yeah, no 6.
I'm going to roll the green die.
Okay.
I don't know. I think it's going to be kind to me.
Ah!
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So you will notice that to the right-hand side of Layla on the carrot keeper, there is an empty character slot. Do you want to be a member of the crew of the lake up on the ship, or do you want to be one of the United People's Progressive People's Party who've been hiding on the planet and survived so far?
The Omestra, right? Yeah.
Omestra, sorry, yes. It boils down, do you want to appear in this scene kind of now, or do you want to be up in orbit?
I'll be one of these. What do you call them again?
They're United Progressive People's, the Union of Progressive Peoples. That's right.
The Union of Progressive Peoples.
Peoples.
Yes.
So and you know, have a go at the character sheet any which way you like. Yeah.
Okay.
And you know, were you to choose to have been a UPP Colonial Marine, that might mean that you have a handgun. But let's put that to one side. Because Layla, what do you hear as the alien pounces on Benny?
A fusillade of gunfire.
Yeah.
And I mean, we have to go with the classic here. You know, a sound that sounds like a watermelon splitting.
Yeah.
You know, just and this groan, this sort of breath, you know, expelled groan, you know.
Yeah, go for that.
And imagination fills in the rest.
It does indeed. You're still in your hidey hole. Are you going to stay there? Or take this distraction as an opportunity to get out? Just curious.
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have a slug of vodka. I've got a bottle of it here. I'm going to use it.
So secretly from the horror, reduce stress by 1 and roll a d6.
because excitement's all very well, but there
Poor
are
old
limits.
Benny.
4.
4. 4 plus. Agree with the GM how this leads to danger being marked. Well,
You're kind
I
of
mean,
full on the danger check.
well, exactly. So you know, that's no effect. I can't mark any
No.
more danger than I've got. I need to start spending some danger. And marking all of those as having been marked. So I'm thinking, look, it's nearly 5 to the hour. I'm thinking we take a break now until the hour, and then Franz Brahms will appear somewhere in the action after the commercial break. Yeah?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
back on the hour, is that okay?
Cool.
And Ronan, if you want to hold off, you know, make any final selections of stuff, feel
Sure.
free. You know, and we'll fill them in play.
Okay.
But let's pause until the hour. See you in a bit. So we cut back, you know, with that horrible sound of those inner jaws doing what those inner jaws do. And Benny is no more. But then I think I'm going to have the alien on the ship distracted by the body. Yeah? Because then I think Layla, I'm going to spend some danger to provide a mysterious transmission, right?
Okay.
I'm going to spend a danger to have a mysterious transmission. I think the walkie-talkie sparks into life, and you know, you'd already turned the volume way down low.
Yeah, well, I've got it to earpiece now, maybe, if that's all right.
And it's a voice, it's a familiar voice, but it's saying, yes, this is Agent 3, Agent 3 calling Gateway Station, Agent 3 calling Gateway Station, code 3982579. And research was right. The hive is active. It has grown. I believe there are infected or a good chance of infection among either of the two crews that I think are now on the planet. There may be members of my own crew who are infected because they're on the planet. I've been holed up, but they seem to have been distracted. I'm going to make a dash for it. I'm going to spend another danger to use another danger move, which is hint at an NPC's dubious motive. You do recognize the voice. It's Jim Harris.
The hell?
Because I've just remembered that Jim Harris says the companies have found something out here, and if you can assist them recover it, then you think you'd be justly rewarded.
That bastard.
So Jim
And
is
I was
in play.
and Layla was just on the point of, like, you know, keying the thing and saying, you know, who is this and such like that. And she just, and as she's reaching for the, you know, for the button, her hand freezes, you know. And she realizes who it is.
So, and we now have Franz Brahms in play. It looks like he's chief engineer of this UPP salvage come scrapping. Yeah. You've chosen UPP Marines as your previous experience. You can have any item, any single item you want from the equipment list, Franz.
Okay, from the equipment list. So,
yeah.
So we're clear.
Any
nuclear
item?
weapons are out.
Say again?
No, nuclear weapons are not.
Yeah, they're not on the list, sadly.
The pulse rifle is on the list.
The pulse rifle, the UPP equivalent of the pulse rifle, is on the list.
Smart gun is too, but that's kind of big.
Yeah, I think that's too big for you to have been hiding out in this refinery for a while. But yeah, I am prepared to give you a pulse rifle if you want it.
Take the pulse rifle.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Take that. Sure.
So mark it and mark the 2 equipment slots it will take. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think that's why Layla didn't find anything like that in the storage lockers, because Franz took it with him when he escaped the ship. Yeah. Have you been on the planet days or weeks, Franz?
I think he's been on the planet for about a week.
Fine.
And has been using his sort of his know-how from the core and just his own survival skills to just stay hidden, to stay out of the line of sight of any of these creatures. Yeah.
Fine. I've instituted a rule from Against the Dark Conspiracy, which is that when you die and get a new character, you get their intel.
Oh. Okay.
I brought that across since you and I played last, Brandon. And I won't require you to select your final expertise until you choose to. Right? It'll turn out Franz can do some stuff. Perhaps.
He can make a really nice omelet.
But I am going to make him mark his second stress, because he's been under some pressure for the last week. Yeah,
totally fair.
Count himself lucky to have 2.
Yeah, I know. Absolutely. Yeah.
I guess what I want to know finally, Franz, is no. Let me go back. Dwell on that for a moment. Let me go back to Layla. Layla, what's your plan now? You've got the thing is that's on the ship is distracted, it appears, by poor old Benny's body.
It's distracted, but it's not gone yet.
No.
And I don't know how tough these things are. And I'd only have 1 shot.
Didn't you listen to anything Benny was saying over the walkie? How he shot it like 15 times and then hit it with the fire extinguisher twice. It's really tough.
No, I didn't actually. Okay. I'm going to. I know what I'm going to do. My plan is to get back to the bridge. And suit up.
Okay. Now
because my idea is to take this thing out into orbit with the airlocks open.
Oof. So there is a
and killing everything else on board that doesn't have oxygen equipment.
Oh no.
If I can manage to, it's like these things are clearly intelligent, but I don't think they know how spaceships work.
Okay. There is an intel spend available to you,
I'm going to do that.
Find a way out of the current scene that isn't obvious.
Yes.
I'll come back to you in a moment.
I think I'm in a ventilation shaft just to pull a reversal on the aliens here.
Franz, which bit of the ship is closest to where you've been hiding for the past week?
So just to be clear, you're saying he's on this ship, the same ship right now?
Right now. He's been hiding here for a week.
He hides in the cryosleep pod.
Oh, fair enough. So, or in a compartment, some bit of.
Yeah.
Fine. So he's up there on A deck. Is he pretending to be in the cryosleep pod, or is he hiding, as he unbolted a panel underneath it and he's crawled in there, and then, he comes out on occasion to get some food or something?
He's seen what good, yeah, he's seen what good hunters these things are. He wouldn't risk them actually being able to see him through the glass of the pod. Like he might hide in there, but it's like covered in something or it's disguised as something else. So, but
fine. Only if one of the xenomorphs comes into that room will I ask you to avoid detection.
okay.
But yeah, so spend intel, Layla,
It-
to make your way through the ducting built into the walls of this thing towards the bridge. Yeah. So you don't have to make a roll for that. The intel spend gets you from A to B.
Okay.
But I have a danger spend which says declare a complication. There's an unexpected structural obstacle. And I'm going to spend that danger. The unexpected structural obstacle is that you need to go up before you can go along and down. So you have to go up to A deck.
Yeah.
Before you can make your way along and then come down to B deck. Franz, what do you do when you hear something in the ducts coming in your direction?
So I'm going to spend some intel.
Go on.
To discover some information without rolling.
Oh.
I want to know, does this sound like one of those creatures, or is
No,
this
it doesn't. It sounds
one of the
like
people that have clearly been invading his ship too?
You've for the last kind of 12 hours at intervals, you've heard people kind of clumping about in the ship, on the deck below you. But this sounds like someone coming up onto A deck.
Okay. Is there a way that I can sort of release some paneling or something to let this person into this compartment?
I think that this requires you to get out of your hiding place and move to where you think you can intercept this other person. Yeah.
Grand. Yep.
I think that this is probably about avoiding detection by the aliens while you're doing it.
Perfect.
Yeah. So what do we got? We've got survival and deadly. I'll give you the benefit of survival for expertise, just to move quietly and inconspicuously. And you can have the green one if you want it.
He's only on 2 stress.
Exactly. You remember what that was like.
No,
Way back when.
I don't. That was sometime last week. Okay. I'm going with it though, since you give me expertise as well, and everything always goes badly if you don't take the stress die. So,
And occasionally, if you do take the stress die.
Well, yeah.
Whoa, so win.
So success, but the success rather than the stress die, stress goes up by 1. Who's surprised? But on a 4, you get to a panel that you know opens into the duct where this other person is crawling. Right? They've come up and it sounds like they're about to head forward away from your position. Yeah. So what do you do?
So I reach out and I knock sort of gently on the side of the paneling.
Just freeze.
Hello?
Wait, they don't talk.
Was meinst du dann? What are you doing?
Who are you?
Who are you? This is my ship. Very quietly. I'm saying all of this, but very quietly.
Where do I think I am?
You think that you had to crawl back from storage towards where vestibule is marked,
right,
on B deck, and then go up towards A deck, and you were about to go forward. So you think you're either alongside the small cargo bay, or you're alongside the cryosleep and the escape pod.
Well, and you're trying to get to the bridge, right? You're trying to get to the bridge?
Trying to head forward from here to the forward crew compartment where there is a vent down that would take you into the bridge. That's what you were trying to do, Layla. You've been looking for a way to get forward, and so far you found an app, and it looks like you can go forward from here.
Right, but there's no way out here.
I'm prepared to have a hatch in the wall,
Okay.
An inspection hatch. Maybe there's even a grill.
Yeah.
So
I think a conversation through the grill is very thematic.
Yeah. You can see
there's
out.
I say
see in.
I say in a very controlled but very low-pitched voice, there's a Xeno on deck B that just killed a friend of mine.
Yeah, you brought them back.
No.
Yeah.
We don't know where it came from. We were hoping to take the G class up to orbit where our ship is.
Can you pilot it?
Of course.
Okay.
But that Xeno's still on board.
All right.
I was going to go up to the bridge to we had a mechanical problem. I was going to go up on the bridge to see if it was cleared.
Yeah.
If you'll open up the hatch.
Can I do that from here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
I come like I do it.
This time very quiet.
Burst myself out very quietly, listening.
Fine. You come out alongside the ship's A deck EVA suit locker.
So how do we get rid of them?
They're really tough.
No shit.
If we both suit up, I can take this up into orbit and blow the airlocks. It'll kill anything that's not breathing oxygen, but you may have to hold it off for a little while.
It's a fucking crazy plan.
Do you have anything? I looked, but I didn't see anything.
And Franz just leans behind him into the cryo sleep pod and pulls up the pulse rifle and goes, "You mean like this?"
Yeah. That might actually hurt them. Do you have a better idea? I'm Layla, by the way.
Franz.
Nice to meet you, I guess. All things considered.
Under better circumstances, this might even be pleasant.
It might. I think we need to play the hand we've been dealt, though.
My plan was to hide out here until they all left. And
it might leave now that it's killed someone. I don't know. Predators often do.
There's more than one. There's more.
There's more than one. More. Yeah, there's more than one. There are at least two.
Oh,
no,
France.
there's a lot.
You've seen a handful of them.
Yeah.
That when they came at the rest of the crew, they took out the other four guys or four crew members, one each. And you saw three of them being carried away, certainly.
I impart all of this.
Let's go and see if we can make the bridge.
I like your plan.
Barricade it and set up for defense. If that thing leaves, so much the better.
Could
take a suit? I've got one up there.
Exactly Where is the creature right now?
It's
It's
down.
it's
Last I saw it, it was down one level, right about here where we are.
no, the last time you'd have seen it would have been in the mess hall.
Oh, in
The
the
mess
mess
That,
hall.
that's
Okay,
where Benny
okay.
came back onto the ship.
Okay,
Okay.
so it's just forward of us.
So you mean right in front of the
No, it's
bridge?
down. It's down. It's okay. A deck is the top deck, right? Okay, the
Yeah.
bridge is the B deck. Yeah. It's it's between us and the bridge. I was
Is
hoping to try and get into the bridge through a duct, but it'd still be really close.
let's try it. Okay.
If we have a way to lure it out of there, it would be the best, but I don't know.
Hmm. Uh,
Only gotten a look at it
yeah.
under very strange circumstances.
Yeah, this is all quite strange. Is there anything that would be around here that we could like there's no way there's no exit out of the ship from this deck, is there?
No.
There's like no way to like open a window and chuck something out and
I think there is probably an emergency exit from the crew quarters, maybe above the exit from the mess hall. So
okay.
that there's exit from both of those down
Yeah.
onto the wing and from there to the ground.
So I think that perhaps if one of us goes outside, it might follow, and then when the other has the
Yeah,
opportunity, they get to the bridge, they start the engine.
yeah, you've seen how fast those things are.
Yeah, they're not faster than bullet.
It's true.
Yeah.
How confident are you?
Um, Far too confident, probably. I have been trained very well. Um, Fighting for the people of the UPP.
Can't
Yeah,
believe that.
you know me.
Yeah, I can't believe that that thing's just going to hang out down there.
No, exactly. So,
It's gonna probably take the carcass and go somewhere. Let's see where it goes.
So you're going to go down
Um,
there and see if it's still there. Is that
no,
right?
I'm going to use motion detector.
you have a motion detector.
I do.
Ooh, the motion detector. Okay.
Ausgezeichnet.
Yeah. I've
So,
turned the volume off on it. I
okay.
just gonna look at the visual readout.
No. I mean, you have to have the. Don't worry, the
Okay,
volume on
fine,
it.
fine.
But this can't be an alien movie without that kind of. Beep, beep, beep,
Yeah.
beep, beep.
Yeah, okay, well,
So you're in the cryosleep area, yeah?
Yep.
Let's have you roll to investigate, Layla. I think observation will play as expertise. I think the motion tracker gives you a bonus,
Oh,
and you can have
nice.
the stress dice if you want it.
not for this.
But remember, every time that you use the bonus dice attached to it, you
Yeah.
have to use up a power.
Uses a charge, yeah.
Yeah.
So let
Okay.
me mark a charge because I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Motion tracker. There's a charge thing somewhere. Where is it? I don't. Oh, it's down there. There we go.
Got it.
Yep, I'm on it. All right. Here we go.
Went the crowd.
6.
A 6.
Oh.
So on a 6, you get the basic information you need. Okay. The basic information you need is that it is still on the lower deck, right? But now you get to ask me 2 questions if you want to. One of which is likely to trigger a roll for stress.
What doesn't?
It's still on the lower deck. I mean, is it still there in the mess hall in our way?
Okay, so I think the way I want to play this is that you ask me,
Because
is it
narrative,
in so and so, and I will
um,
tell you yes or no.
do we have a way to the bridge that doesn't go through where it is?
Um, you would have to go back into the duct system and go back to
Okay.
plan A. Yeah,
Oh,
but
I'm good with that.
I will say that it is either in the mess hall or the storage med lab area.
Got you.
All right. But you've got a second question. Well, I suppose you've asked me the other question, which is, you know, Franz, is there another way to get to the bridge other than going downstairs and walking through the doors? And there is the duct system.
It's not moving. We're going to have to take the ducks to the bridge if we're going to get there. I don't think there's any way we want to go through that thing.
I am a little worried, but perhaps it can come through the door to the bridge.
It might come through the door, but then we're no worse off than if we tried to go through it. Except it'll probably be slowed down by trying to make its way through the door. You you'll get more than one shot at it.
Is Franz aware of the acid blood?
I think so. I think he saw his friends shoot
Yeah.
at them. You know, you're not bound by, because technically you were here illegally. I don't think you're bound by the strict rules that UCSS is.
Yeah.
So I think you probably came armed anyway, just because
Yeah.
you were in their space.
Mhm. Okay. Listen, yeah, I think, yeah, I think we try the plan to go through the duct, and if that doesn't work, we've got the gun and we can simply shoot it.
Simply shoot it.
All
Okay.
right. Then I guess you're first.
Jawohl.
So back into the duct that Layla came out of.
Mhm.
You know, we see Layla carefully pulling the duct back into place.
Yep. Put the hatch back in. Don't want to leave anything.
And Franz, you head forward. Now, the way I'm going to make this work is you need to avoid detection when you
Mhm.
are above or on the same level as our friend. Yeah. So
Yeah.
as you make your way from cryosleep alongside the cargo bay,
Yeah.
you are above the area where the motion tracker suggests they are. The mess hall, the med lab, somewhere in that gap. So let's have you roll to avoid detection. I will give you the benefit of your survival training here.
Wait.
You've managed to stay alive on this ship for a while.
And I'm going to take stress as well. Here we
You
go.
can always add the stress dice.
That's
Oh,
sick.
Franz is a lot luckier than Benny. That's a 6, and it's not even on the stress dice.
Why are you jinxing me?
So, that goes perfectly. Mark intel.
Yep.
But it is claustrophobic in here. Roll for stress. Cool as a cucumber. The
You've had
UPP
worse.
really
No, I
does
think
train.
he's just gotten used to hiding in small spaces.
Yeah, you know, his adrenal gland is just all out of juice. But you get an extra benefit. What do you want the extra benefit to be? Do you want Layla not to have to make a roll? Or do you want to make excellent progress so you won't have to make the next roll?
I want how
Don't let me
about
clear
one?
this deal.
Can I suggest another thing? Just because he's learning from Benny's mistakes here. Well, no, he's actually learning from Benny's successes.
Oh,
Could he somehow get control of the ship's fire suppression system from in here?
he's an engineer, isn't he?
He is.
I would give you fiction. The benefit would be fictional positioning to roll to do something else. What about that?
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yes, there's the junction box. Yeah.
Yes. Perfect.
Layla, let's have you roll to catch up with Franz. And I guess again, I think survival is in play here. 4 on the stress dice. Stress goes up from 4 to 5, but it is at least a success. So you catch up with Franz. So you've worked your way forward from cryosleep past the cargo bay. You're heading towards the aft crew quarters. I think that you've got the fictional position to do this, Franz.
Yep.
I'm happy for you to roll to do something else, but I think that the skill that this will require is Comtech. Now, I'm conscious Layla already has it. So I'm just wondering whether you want to share this plan with Layla, and Layla makes the roll. Because Layla will get expertise unless you use your final expertise to declare Comtech.
Seems like a waste. Probably going to need that sometime in the next 20 minutes or so.
I would also remind you that you're sitting on a whole bag of intel, so you might think about how to use it. But Layla,
yeah, I'm going to let Layla know the plan. Yeah, so you just see the little junction box, yeah. Just open this up, yeah, and then the fire suppression system. You go. Psst.
Okay, Layla, we're going to give it a go. Aim to stun the creature.
Stun those fuckers.
And if so, do you want to use the stress dice? Because you've got the Comtech expertise in your hand.
Yeah, I can't. I have to get relief from the stress before I use the stress die.
Well, yes. Seek relief from the horror, or simply give me a danger and lose a stress.
Easy peasy.
Because I've been using danger like fun. I've got so little left.
So little left. Where is danger? Let's see. No, it's not. It would put it back into hunt.
Oh, yeah. The other rule change that I built in is that the clock never goes back down. They're still on attack.
Oh, they're still on attack. In which case, take one.
Okay.
There you go.
I will.
Well, the other ones are not appropriate.
So that gives you a bit of headroom. Stress dice in or out?
I think I'm going to save my stress die roll for piloting where it's going to be drastically needed.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I removed the cover and see the little blinking lights behind it, and then it's I'm going to fire up the test sequence. Give it a whole 6.
A 6 that goes brilliantly. Mark intel. And you hear, the thing goes off, and then you hear that same kind of screech as the alien is kind of. But the only slightly thing that's going to mean that you're going to roll for stress is you hear a second alien screaming as well.
No.
And I'm going to spend that danger you give me to declare another alien on the ship.
Why did you do that, Brandon?
I had to get back off the precipice. Sorry.
So roll for stress, 4 or less, and all is well.
I'm all right.
Oh, so you are. Wow.
Oh.
Okay. I'm all right for certain values of all right.
Yeah.
Now, I'll remind you, there is a spend for intel that says, find a way out of the current scene that isn't obvious. That could take you from where you are to where you want to go without a roll.
Just for the screen transition.
We go to the bridge or not?
Well,
not yet.
That would, if France were to use that intel, spend an intel, we would cut to him dropping through a vent onto the bridge.
Do that.
It's spent. I've got so much intel. Of course, you can have the intel.
And I'm very happy, Franz, for you to spend 2 intel. So immediately after you, Layla drops into the bridge.
They're good.
If Layla doesn't want to spend the intel, you can.
Das hab ich getan. It's done, of course.
And so quietly, you drop down into the bridge. Layla lowers herself down, passes you down the gun, lowers herself down, and you're in the bridge. And you can still hear that kind of
Secure the
on the
doors.
other side of the door.
Yeah.
What are you going to do, friends? Or is
We
it
can just
Layla?
hear it. Well,
You
we
hear
can't
it.
see we can't see them from where we are, right?
No,
No.
no,
Oh, okay.
no. I think it's much more interesting so there are two doors that come from
Yeah.
the mess hall onto the bridge, one either side.
Yeah.
And you can hear the screaming of the alien, because actually the fire suppression is going off in here as well.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So it's going off in here. There's loads of noise, but cutting through that noise, you can hear this screaming of the alien. Or would you prefer there to be a small panel in the glass so you can see it?
No.
No.
It's fine. It's okay.
Well, I thought I'd offer.
Glasses
Yeah, I
too.
know.
So there's two doors onto the bridge from where that creature is.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Can we lock those doors?
It's
Can we
intel.
like secure them?
Let's do that thing, shall we? I think this amounts to avoiding detection, actually. 'Cause I
Is
think
this
you
an
can lock
intel
it.
spend to make the
Well,
place secure?
Well, exactly so. Find shelter that's secure or a way to make their current location secure, at least. For now, at least.
And the intel, I had so much, and now it is down to simply it's fine. But they're alive.
You're alive,
They're
absolutely.
still alive.
You're still alive. And I think probably at this point, what we see is you're on the bridge. The fire suppression system's gone off. And what are you going to do, Layla? You're in the pilot seat. Franz is next to you in the co-pilot seat.
I'm going to suit up except for the helmet.
Okay.
So I still have so I can still see well.
Franz?
And sit down and then finish, double check that to see whether the trouble light blinks off.
Oh yeah, exactly. So Franz, you suiting up as well, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, both in not quite as white and quality suits as we're used to in the United Americas and we've seen our alien movies. Because I have to say at the moment, For All Mankind, I don't know if you know the series, is in my head about Russians and Americans on.
Well, they're
the
strictly
Mars.
I imagine they're strictly functional,
Very
right? They're
functional,
this very
exactly. Slightly constrained field of view, and so on. Anyway, so Franz, you're in the co-pilot seat. Layla is running checks. When we see you flick the same buttons, green, 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 green. Your thumb hovers over the one that went red. You flick it. It goes green.
oh, fantastic. Light the retros.
Los. Boom. I like the retros.
And up you go. And that, of course, is when the alien hits the door.
Right.
Boom. Of course.
And then the second alien hits the other door.
Mm-hmm.
So both the doors onto the braille, you can do.
Yeah.
Layla, this I think is a straightforward piloting role to get up to where the Omestra is.
Yep. Here we go. And this time I am using the stress die.
Okay. Another
Nailed
6.
it.
Amazing.
Intel goes up by 1. And goes like a top additional benefit.
Additional benefit. I managed to pitch it sharply up so that the aliens there have to basically scrabble for, they get thrown, one of them gets thrown to the back of his compartment violently as I, nose up this thing at a 75-degree angle or something like that.
You know,
and
pushing the G's, pushing them away
oh
from
yeah,
the
yeah,
rules.
yeah. Just
Great.
we're seated, and they are not. And yes, they are incredibly strong, but I'm going to make them devote some of their energy at least to holding on for dear life rather than getting in here.
And the reason you are going to roll for stress is as you break out through the atmosphere into the black, there is another ship in orbit alongside the Omestra.
What?
It's a ship like that behind Ronan. And it says, and as soon as you come out out of atmosphere and interference drops off, a broadcast comes over. This is the Wayland Yutani search and rescue cruiser Omega. We are responding to an SOS. Please stand ready to be boarded.
Is that the fucking Marines?
No, that's Wayland Yutani.
No, that's the corporation.
Uh,
But it's a military vessel chartered by the corporation.
Yeah. Should we tell them that maybe boarding right now is not a great idea, or
I have mixed feelings about that, honestly,
yeah.
given how I feel about Wayland Yutani.
Me also. I mean,
now, I don't know how you want to play it forward from here if I go a bit meta. We could epilogue our way out at this point.
Yeah.
Or we could have a to-do with a bunch of Wayland Marines. And of course, Merton will come on the line and say, it looks like search and rescue have arrived, Karsten. Prepare to be boarded.
yes,
they have us outgunned, and I've got nowhere to go, so I guess we're going to be ported.
This is my ship. Do you know
Why
what
don't you then you better you're not.
Franz, can I just ask, you said you believe in that old-fashioned shit about family, community, and even flag.
Yeah.
Can
what
you
would it
assert
take
sovereignty?
for you to betray the UPP and not take these amazing creatures home?
Oh, I see. Is that how we're doing it?
Just
I
saying.
knew it was too good.
There is a way out of this. Layla, it's not to go home. Now, I don't know whether you want to toss about how you want it, because I think we are an epilogue here.
I think that's exactly what happens. Is that it's like Layla says, when they board us and they find these creatures or what's left of them, we will become liabilities.
Yeah.
Someone has tried very, very hard to keep this whole thing silent.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a feeling that we're going to be participating in that, and whether we like it or not. And she slams to the maximum and engages the space drive.
And of course, the ship is pre-programmed for home. There is a slight problem that you are going to need to get into those hypersleep, cryosleep containers somehow.
Oh, I understand.
At the minute,
but it's just like,
So what I think
you got a pilot navigator. And Leela is all the skills you need to get home. Wrapped up in one person.
And the last thing who's unidentified ship.
Yeah.
This is the Omega.
You want to
handle
this?
Prepared to be fired. Fired on.
You want to handle this, Franz? I'm busy.
Yeah.
Hand you the micro the mic.
Omega? Yeah, we won't be stopping for you. It's next stop, Moscow. Out.
Now that could be our finish, but I want to offer either or both of you the opportunity for an epilogue that is a bit further away in time, if you want it, but you don't have to have it. Or that could be run credits.
I'll have a late epilogue.
Go on then.
It's much later. And Franz Yarnet. Um, we're in what's clearly a ship compartment, right? You know, background hum sounds in a room there. And Leila is saying, you know, I'm not sure at any point up to this I would have thought that I'd be going back into this sector again after what happens. And Franz, you say something like, "Do you have any regrets?" And Leila goes, "Not yet." And you see her chamber around and you see her pull back the bolt on a smart gun.
Franz, do you want to roll forward from there?
So
Or have a
going full
flashback from
aliens,
there?
going full aliens, you know, in the way back.
Yeah, as we pull back, you're dressed in a UK
Oh yeah, she's dressed
Marine.
in, full, combat battle dress, with the smart gun tethered to one hip.
So, Franz, do you want to go forward from there, or flashback to before there, or are you content?
I think adding to that would only spoil it, and yeah, no, I'm very happy with that.
That's very generous of you.
Yep.
So then we roll credits. I'd like a quick stars, less wishes. But most just was anything that you particularly enjoyed about that session, or the games we've played. So let me start, Ronan.
Yeah. I loved yeah, the star for me was when near the start, Layla was just like, we're fuck Jim. We're not going to get Jim. There's no way. Like, okay, yes, we might find out what happened to Hicks, but Jim, no way. It's just not going to happen. And obviously, Benny was just going to go with that. And I feel like Layla almost was like, I know Benny is just going to back me on this. And it was so true. And how things progressed from there, and how I know it felt a little bit like, Alun, perhaps you wanted us to go and find out what had happened to Jim. But we were like, no, we're not doing that. Forget it.
Well, after finding Hicks that had been torn apart,
Yeah.
I felt like, okay, the likelihood that Jim's still alive is nil. Is
So
zero, and we're going to get killed. So no.
Yeah. So what I really liked was Layla taking the lead on that and just running with it, knowing that Benny would absolutely have her back.
Brilliant. Brandon, any stars?
Oh, so many. What are we supposed to use? Harsh language. Thank you so much for that quote. Benny duking it out with the warrior there and going
Ridiculous.
down, firing bullets point blank into it. That's like, how did he end up in that spot? He got a gun. That's the problem with having a gun. Yep. As soon as you have a gun, you think you can fight these things, and it's not true.
No.
But Benny, bless him, needed to find that out.
Yes, he did. It's like there's a reason that no one won against an alien with a handgun. So that was great. To answer your question, Alun, yeah, the atmosphere is terrific. I mean, it's you ratcheted up every time the tension dropped. You waited a few beats and you ratcheted it back up again, and which is what this movie wants, right? A little respite, and then things drop back in the pot again, and things are tense and difficult. And it was easy to picture a lot of it that was going on. It was there was that there was, a couple moments where it really felt like we were just skating on the knife edge to destruction. Um, and and it was just altogether, it's really good. The way that you spend danger to kind of regulate the pacing, I think works very well. I think that's probably very helpful to get the other GMs that are trying to replicate what you do. The feeling that there's a currency or a pool, is something I've seen in other games, and you use it to the same good effect of that. And I really liked Benny. I mean, he was. It just shows you being a coward is, incredibly useful in the worst
in
circumstances.
It certainly is.
It really
No one's
is.
gonna miss him,
Hmm?
No one's gonna miss him.
I'm going to miss him.
Oh no,
Oh,
I
okay.
think
I liked
think,
Benny. Benny was
exactly.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the audience were rooting for Benny.
Oh yeah,
Particularly when he went suddenly front foot, and I suppose my star on him would be the fact that you increasingly played him like he was hopped up out of his mind.
Yeah.
So there comes
That
a
was
point
great.
where he's taking 2 pills, and he thinks he can do this.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's like 3rd pill. I'm fine.
Yeah. Anyway, I wanted, because I thought it was really interesting on the character sheet. You've got that section where underneath the stress you say this manifests as, and I find that difficult to sort of write down exactly. And it was right. Well, at the start it was like, oh, he's getting very nervous. Now he's ready to run at a moment's notice, and then it was like, no, it's time to go the other way.
Yeah.
Run towards.
Running is no longer the smart way out of this. Yeah.
He just wasn't smart. So but yeah, no, like I thought
and I love that you played him so reactive. It's like no plan, just what's happening right this very moment.
And picking the benefit of that first attack on the alien.
Yeah.
There's Jim's handgun. You're gonna star for me for that. No, I mean, and again, stars for me, guys. I think that was a cracking session. I think that these characters really came to life, and even Franz, who didn't spend a lot of time in scene, but I got a distinct, clear impression of Franz from that.
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
absolutely spot on.
I liked Franz from the beginning.
Yeah.
From the moment he opens his mouth, it's just like, I like this guy. I completely understand where he's coming from. This is, the chief engineer in a just no frills, cargo hauler, that's been converted to salvage.
Stealing United American technology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like he probably took a bit of time to work up to actually liking Layla, if you know what I mean, and not being suspicious of her. But obviously by the end they're kicking ass.
Yeah, well, Layla's point of view was, go ahead and be suspicious of me. I have bigger fish to fry.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you gonna do? Chew me?
So no, that was a great 2-shot, guys. Thank you. It allowed me to flesh out some ideas around a supplement that I'm going to write for Alien Dark, and just add it as a couple of pages on the end. The stuff about danger spends and adding in intel, because I think that's probably. I think you're right. I think it's you can take the Fate GM out of the Fate game, but you can't take the Fate instinct out of the Fate GM. Anyway. So thank you very much for that, guys. Hope to play with you both soon. Oh, is it okay if I publish this?
Of course. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So I will bid you farewell. Have a good evening, Ronan. Have a good day, Brandon. All the best.
Nice
guys.
to meet you, Ronan.
See you later, guys.
Nice to see you again soon, Alun.
Ronan, lovely to play with you for the first time. Hope to play again. Ditto, Brandon. Nice to see you again.
Sure.
Cheers,
See you again
guys.
soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Everyone.